Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here. I'm just going to share a couple of quick news blurbs with you. Dead by Daylight tweeted out that the Moonlight Burrow event will now begin tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you don't know what time that is for you, if you don't live in the Eastern Standard Time Zone, you can always ask your favorite assistant, either Alexa, Google, Siri, or whatnot, and say, hey Google, when it's 1 p.m. in Montreal, what time is it for me? And that'll give you the answer to when the event will start. I'm glad they told us when the event is starting, because I think it was last year that normally patches come out at 11 a.m. and we were all anticipating that the event would start at 11 a.m. and I sat there for about 2 hours not knowing where or when the event was starting. So I'm glad they laid out the exact time here for us this time. And they also put out a tweet saying that Tome 14 Betrayal is coming, which looks like it's featuring Claudette, Vittorio, and the Knight. Normally, the day after a patch comes out is when the tome begins. So the tome may start on Wednesday. Not entirely sure. Don't hold me to that. But presumably, there'll be a new patch tomorrow, and the tome will open the day after. But it's coming soon, no matter what. And then also there was this blurb that was put out on Dead by Daylight socials in Japan, and I thought, well, I'll just wait for the translated version in English. But Mandy posted on the forums that there is not going to be an English version, so we have to just wait for the explanations on the patch notes when the update drops here. So I went back to the original tweet here in Japanese and clicked on this link, and then I translated that. And basically, the important information here is it talks about the HUD where the survivors can see what their teammates are doing. It says, the other day with the 6.5.0 update, there was a function that displays the actions that survivors are doing with each other on the interface, and a feature that displays the survivor being chased by the killer to the killer and the other survivors. And that was announced that it will be implemented, and as a result of the public test build conducted on the Steam version, we have improved this function with Part 3, a function that will display the repair progress on the interface between survivors while the generator is being repaired. They have decided to add this. So for when you look at that HUD and you see that your teammates are on generators, it will show you how far the progression is on repairing that generator. And so it says here that parts 1 and 2 are going to be added in the main implementation of the 6.0 update scheduled for this week. And part 3 will be added in another update scheduled to be delivered soon. So probably the part 3 that will show the progress of the generator being repaired by your teammate survivors. Remember, killers can't see any of this. This is only shown to your teammate survivors. That part will probably come out in either the first or second hotfix to this patch that's coming this week. So then it goes into a lot of detail about balance. And one of the things that I found very interesting here is they basically come out and say that they encourage comms, voices on comms here. Okay, here it is. I'm not going to read this whole thing, by the way. I will link the entirety of the translated post in the description below if you want to look at it, because it's not going to be an exact translation. So I just want to cover some points here. It says, we want Dead by Daylight to be one of the games that you can enjoy playing with your friends, so we have implemented a function to form a party with friends and improve the functions around friends. We have no plans to implement in-game voice chat so that people who want to play quietly alone will not feel pressured, but we have a policy that people who want to play using voice chat tools such as Discord can do so freely. I had a lot of fun playing it. And then it goes on that point again to talk about, like, people say, why don't you just get rid of Survive with Friends completely? Why didn't you remove the ability to form a party? And why don't you ban the use of voice chat tools such as Discord? And so it says here, the ability to play with friends is the most basic part of any cooperative online game, and we hope that you'll have fun playing Dead by Daylight with your friends. As such, we're not removing the ability to form parties, and instead aiming to better coexist with survivor parties and solo players. Voice chat has also become commonplace in recent years, and it is standardly installed on many home use game consoles, not just Discord. Using voice chat is one of the real pleasures of playing with friends, and the game has no plans to limit who wants to use it. So this is something that I've talked about in the past from the very first dev Q&A session when the game was in alpha and the Trapper was the only killer. Ash and Dave Richard and Matthew Cote discuss that they had voice chat in the game, like proximity chat, and they removed it because they didn't want people to be forced to have other stranger voices thrust upon them, and they knew that people would just use Discord with their friends, and they wholeheartedly encouraged it, and that's why they scrapped it. But the game from the very beginning was always designed for voice and encouraged to use voice. So anybody out there who thinks that Survivors on comms is cheating is out in left field. Now, one of the comments that I saw on the English forums was saying that a lot of the Japanese people do not like to have this information on the HUD, and they think it sullies the game, and they would rather have the mystery and not be able to see this. And so one of the questions here is, I don't want to use this feature. Do you have any plans to implement a function that can be turned on and off in the settings? First of all, after the 6.0 update is implemented, go to the ritual and try it out. Currently, there are no plans to implement an on-off function, but when everyone gets used to it, we plan to check and consider whether there are many such requests. I don't know why people wouldn't want the information playing solo to see what their teammates are doing, because if I see someone is almost finished a generator, I'm probably going to be the one who leaves to go save and let them cash in that gen. I think it is good information, and a lot of people also think that this is going to skew the balance of the game Survivor-sided, but Dead by Daylight has said that they need to have this in the HUD to help balance the game, and then if this itself makes Survivors too strong, then they can further balance the game to make killers stronger to combat it, right? But this has to be a necessary portion. Otherwise, the solo players who are out on an island, apparently some of them want to be out on an island, are having a rough go of it, and they need this to balance the escape rates between solo players and Survive with Friends teams. So anyway, the beginnings of this, what do they call it? The Survivor Action Display feature comes out sometime this week, probably tomorrow. I think you probably have to have an update when the event starts. Event starting at 1 p.m. tomorrow. I would presume that either the update patch would be 11 a.m. at the normal time or at 1 p.m. when the event starts. Anyway, we'll see. But sometime this week, the action display is beginning, so you can see what your teammates are doing as survivors. And remember, the generator progress part is going to come later, the hotfix in a couple of weeks, I would assume. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll be streaming tomorrow to see what this Moonlight Burrow event is all about and earning the cosmetics in-game. And yeah, I think we could even buy the new cosmetics too, right? For Fungmin and Vittorio. Anyway, we'll see you there. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate the time that you spend here with me on my channel. Don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog, and we'll see you next time. Happy New Year. It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life.